It is March the 6th, 2021. I'm Andy, and this is the Minorcan Mullet Report from the Golden Ray Rec Site in the St.simons Sound. We got out in the water today, and it was a gray day, misty, windy, just a raw day in coastal Georgia. And one of those days that you rather spend indoors, but not for the guys out on the site. We saw the guys, a little activity going on. First thing is we've got her hooked up. She is in the straps, the support straps off the spreader bars. They're down. Everything seems to be in place there. It looks like they may have added just a slight bit of tension to them. And it looks like things are where they're supposed to be for the cutting operations to start. Now, as we get around and kind of look back at it, we can see here that the inshore chain, the block was up, and we could see the chain hanging from the block. This is kind of the setup we have seen in the past that they've been using with that chain going directly to the bottom of the block, not running through the block, but just to the bottom of it. And we can see that this side seemed to be set up. What we think is going on here is that they're getting the length of the chain correct for the cut. It seems to be what's going on is when we got around to the other side of the ship, we could see the chain was running through the block and up onto the deck of the VB. Actually got a shot, and you can kind of see some of the guys back on the deck of the VB. Looked like they were kind of working on that chain, hopefully getting it shortened up, ready to get into that cutting mode, and maybe we can see a section cut out here. It's been a while since we've really seen a section cut, and we're hoping for the best here, hoping that the guys can get these kinks worked out and get section 2 started, and hopefully get it finished in a record amount of time so we can see a piece hanging from the VB and maybe put on the Julie B. Now, we kind of looked for the Julie B. We believe she's coming on the Crosby Courage tug. We did a search, and we kind of saw that tug headed north off of South Florida, just north of Miami. And we're just hoping that is Crosby Courage that has the Julie B and is en route back. We know that once this section, this being section number 2, is cut, it's got to go on the Julie B barge. The Julie B barge has already been pre-fitted with the cradle system to take this section, and it's going to be critical that the Julie B is here when the cutting is completed so that they can get that section on the Julie B. And I can imagine that they would probably they want to pretty well make sure that Julie B is pretty close before they really even start cutting. I would think that they would want that thing pretty close before it actually starts. But if that's the case, it seems like it should be another few days, and we should see the Julie B back in the Port of Brunswick. Now here, once we get around to the offshore side and look back, it was kind of hard to see until we were able to blow up some of these pictures that the still shots we took, but we could actually see the chain coming through the block here and on the deck of the VB. But it does appear that piece of chain is laying back across the VB, and we're assuming that is being shortened to get it to the proper length that they need to have that thing set to start cutting. And hopefully this gets done soon. Just to get everybody reoriented, we're back at the cutting at the bow section. We're actually now on the south side of the ship, looking back towards the north. This will be the next section to come off section 2. You remember the cars were taken off of this section sometime back with that grapple machine. We can kind of peer in here a little bit, and we see those empty decks in there. And here we have a shot of the block down on there, and if you look in there close, you can kind of see some of the guys are working, that will appear to be working on the chain. Now over in the Port of Brunswick, we did see that long-legged spud barge that they used to load those cars off the bow section of the Golden Ray. It was being moved around by the Caitlin tug. We saw the Kurt J and the Crosby Star over in port. Couple shots of those guys. A lot of the equipment seems to be moving down towards that area of the port where the car processing is supposed to take place. We see the large barge that was there that was supposed to take section 7 still there. A lot of the repair barges, the spud barge, the barge that they used with the grapple machine, all those pieces have been placed in this area adjacent to the dry docks. We could see one of the dry docks was loaded with equipment there. I guess in anticipation of preparing for some of the activity that's upcoming. Now we got a picture of this guy. He was observing everything. This was just at the mouth of the river on the way back in, and thought this was pretty cool. See the bald eagle out kind of supervising the operation today. Well, hey, that's about all the time we've got for today. I want to ask you, if you haven't done it, to click that subscribe button. Send some comments. We love getting those. And most of all, we want you guys to stay safe out there.